Alright, this video took a lot longer than I thought. I had hours of footage to go through, so I chopped it up as much as I could and tried to show as much of the beautiful grain throughout the whole video. So keep watching till the end when I show the best pieces.
Alright, I got this big white oak log on the sawmill today, and I know in the last video I said I was going to make some wheels for the backstops so I could roll the logs easier. And I didn't get to that yet, but this log here I still wouldn't be able to roll with the wheels on the log stops. It's just too big and too heavy. So I got to roll this one with the tractor, and then once I get this one sawn up, then I'm going to put the wheels on the backstop for rolling future logs. I promise. But I already got started on this log the other day. I made a couple cuts on the top. I'm going to get those off, finish squaring this thing off into a cant, and make some more white oak decking. All right, let's get it done. All right, let's get this show on the road. Nice white oak. Hey, I didn't hit record. All right, well, I flipped it over. You didn't see it. I did a good job. Just to let you know. Take a look. Too bad. But you can see that the weathering on that sapwood. That's why I'm taking it right off. All right, that was a nice big cut. Just scrape that off and get a better look at it. Nice board right there. Beautiful decking. So when I did the deck, I used some other woods like red oak. I didn't have enough white oak. This one was buried, like I said. I just didn't get to it when I was sawing up all the other white oaks. And so I put some red oaks on the deck. And they're probably not going to last long, but they did absorb a lot of the oil. That's the one thing with the red oak, it has more pores than the white oak. So when I put that finish on there, the Ready Seal, it absorbed more of the finish. So it could work in its favor, but if it doesn't, I'm cutting these boards up. So if I got to replace the red oak boards, I'll just unscrew them, cut the same size board out of this white oak. It'll be dry, I'll treat it, put it on there, and we'll be ready to go. But you can see down there, it's a little too far gone. But all this is good wood. This is bad. This is bad. All this is good. All right, keep sawing. So I'll have 2 more big cuts, and then the rest will all be easier cuts for the saw to handle. And I'll have the big cuts done with the fresh blade. That piece is going to weigh quite a bit. Yep. Quite a bit. So I'm going to slide it off a little bit. massive cut. You gotta see this. Let me show you this. Wow. This stuff is awesome. So you can definitely tell this tree was in someone's yard, not out in the wild. As you can see where they trim branches off. I'll show you what I mean. You can see the inclusion of when they cut the branch off right in the tree. So this is one. So it must have been growing out on this angle, and they cut it, and I just got half the branch, and you can see where it was starting to grow over. And this was another one they trimmed because it died, but this one you can see the saw cut. See the saw cut right there? And then the tree grew around it like this. You can see it, how the tree grew right around and healed it, and then grew right over it. So with that being said, being the base of a tree, I hope I don't hit any metal. I really like this blade. I'd like to get more than one log out of it, because they're easy to resharpen on Woodland Mills bandsaw blade sharpener. You don't overdo it. You can send it in there and just give them a light touch on all the teeth. Doot, doot, doot. And put a nice new edge on them. Put that there. The average width on this log right here, 20 inches, or 23 inches if you include the sapwood. That's a lot of oak, a lot of white oak to be ripping. Down 5 1/4 again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4. This cut be a little bit smaller by a hair. All right, let's do it. That was a big cut for that saw. That blade's pretty sharp. Got a little wear on it. But if I'm gonna make cuts that big, I think I want a brand new blade on there next time. Because this white oak is tough stuff. And I went nice and easy. Slowed it down in the beginning. Bogged it down in the beginning, so I had to slow it down. Cut through it nice and easy, made it, but man, that was a lot of work for that saw. Okay, I'm gonna get this one off. Bring the tractor up here, probably flip this one over. That way you can see both pieces. Get a nice shot of that. And then I'll start ripping them. It'll be a 5 1/4 inch cut. I'll stand these pieces right on end and get some decking boards out of it, quite a bit. And then I'll make some room under that overhang, I think. I got some pine and some stuff that I dried over there. I think I can take it off the stickers, flat stock it, and then I can put this underneath. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. It's good. I don't see any staining in there of any metal, which is amazing. Because this came right out of someone's backyard. If it's the log I'm thinking of. And the trimmed limbs definitely show the evidence. I gotta get a bucket of water. I'll be right back. Might have to get the scraper out again and scrape, whoops, wherever I put it. That is amazing. Amazing looking stuff. I raise those backstops up about a foot. I'm gonna stand this thing up. Let me get the saw down this end first. So I'm taking a run to the store today. We're going into town as soon as I'm done with this log and I eat something. Holy mackerel. These acorns are huge this year. That was an acorn hitting my tractor. It's like they're getting fired out of the trees by a gun. Look at the size of these things. Oh, they're huge. Oh yeah, like I was saying, going into town after I throw up this log and eat some dinner. What I'm going to do is pick up a jack, a scissor jack, for lifting the logs up, and brakes for my truck. Brakes and rotors at the auto zone. I like it. I think that's good. a little wane on this piece, which isn't a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this thing over, and if I have a discrepancy on my off the deck dimensions for getting 1 1/4 inch board, the last one will be the waste. If you follow me, if you pick up what I'm throwing at you. So instead of cutting a good board right now that has all that wane in it, I'll flip it over and I'll get a bunch of good boards. And then if that one needs to be trimmed, say I end up with 1 3/4 inch left at the bottom, I'll trim another 1/4 inch off it, another 1/2 inch off it, and I'll get 1 1/4 inch board and less wane. Capiche?
So I got those stops in the back, up like 3 inches. And it's easy to forget they're that high because you can't see them. So I'll put my stop right here, my clamp, right around the same height as those in the back, because I can see that one. So when I get low enough, I'll remember to drop those back stops. You see I had wide edge all the way down, and this is a good piece of firewood for like springtime. It's not that cold.
I think I need a weaker spring on that clutch to cut hardwoods, because I mean, it's cutting it no problem, but you saw it slip right there. So that right there is one of my decking boards. If I go 1 1/4 inch on that scale, it should be at least 1 3/16 inch, which it is. I want a little bit more than that though. So I was using this scale right here, the actual 1 inch, and going 1 1/4 inch, which gives me 1 3/16 inch when I'm done with my cut. But then it's going to shrink, it'll be 1 1/8 inch. I want my decking to be right around 1 3/16 inch, 1 1/4 inch-ish. So you can see, if I line up the tops, this 1 inch, if I put it right on 1 inch, I get an actual 1 inch board. So I'm going to go 1 1/4 inch on this scale for all my decking boards, and that should put me where I want to be. And I like to stack them like this. That way this is closer to the needle. That way when I'm off on an angle, it's right up against it. Less room for error. And right now, I'm going to see how far I am. Right now, I'm at 12.5 off the deck. So I'm going to put this thing right at 12.5. Oh, that ain't right. I'm 12.5 inches off the deck. But on that scale, it's not 12.5. On this scale here, 12.5 is 13.5. So I gotta put you at 11.5.
That should be pretty damn close to where I need to be. Paying attention? All right, that's 12 and a half right there.
I love this stuff. Here's the backfire. So this is what I'm looking for right here. Let me wipe this off. How can you not love this stuff? So what I end up with, 5 1/4 inches wide. We're at 8'8". And on the thickness, I got 1 inch and 5/16. 1.25-ish. I could probably put a new blade on. I think it's cutting okay. It just gets a little bit wavy around the knots. Not worried about it. 1/16 of an inch here or there on deck boards is not a big deal. That's awesome. Look how nice that is. Sorry, Dad. I gotta use it for my deck. All right. That's enough talking. From this point on, I'm just gonna saw all these deck boards up. Bada boom, bada bing. Get it done. Get that charcoal grill going. Cook up some steaks. Oh yeah. I think you need a battery. Oh yeah. I think that says 1%. Let me get you a new battery. All right, getting a little late in the day. I gotta get this charcoal grill going. Wife's got a little project going on here. I'll get this thing going. The charcoal. I got a steak all thawed out. 2 steaks all thawed out. And I'm at a point now where I'll finish sawing these logs up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, early tomorrow. So if I keep going, I probably got another 1.5 hours of work between cutting it up and stickering it. But if I stop right now, I got enough time to cook my dinner and go into town and get that stuff I wanted to get. So I got to detension this blade. Put you right here for right now. So I got 2 big slabs right here I got to cut up. This one's going to be awesome. But right now I got to get that grill going. Take a little break. Get that fire right up through the middle. Set that there and wait. Ooh, I love that smell. Let them cook like that for a little bit. Get some smoke. Oh yeah, they're ready for a sear.
cooked a little more than I like, but it's gonna be perfect. I know it is. All right, that steak and cornbread was great last night. Finished that up, went to the AutoZone, got the brakes, the rotors for my truck, and now I got these slabs here I'm gonna cut up in the decking. All right, let's get it done. I finished sawing up this log and clean the sawmill off, and I got a couple other things I want to do today too, but we'll see how far I get. Right, blades tight, barons are lubed. Piece is quarter sawn. It's got that quarter sawn grain. Show you. You pick that up. See all that ray fleck? That's nice. That's what quarter sawn white oak looks like. That nice ray fleck. Very nice stuff. Hey, look at that grain. Lots of ray fleck in there. Nice quarter sawn. Red oak. I meant to say white oak. Are book matched. But I'm still going to use them for decking. Nice stuff. All right. So now I have this stack of firewood. I gotta bring that over to the firewood pile. And I got these 2 stacks of lumber. And I got a couple pieces down here, miscellaneous. I will trim the sapwood off of those. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Give them to my dad. He says he's gonna make garden beds out of them. Yeah, let's get all this stuff where it needs to be. I gotta get this stuff sticking under the overhang. So, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 33, 37 pieces. Nice. And some firewood and a couple of slabs.
bunch of lumber cut out of that white oak log. This would be great for decking. And what I gotta do is sticker it under the overhang and then let it dry up there. And then I'll use the router, round off all the edges. Once all that's done, I'll put a coat of that Ready Seal on there. So whenever I have a board on the deck that starts to fail from weather, I got a replacement.